All right, our next big genre is melodrama. Oh, I'm sure all of you is so familiar with melodrama. Oh, and just your life is so melodramatic, or you know someone who acts melodramatic, and oh, woe is me, what are we gonna do? But then there's love. Oh, and love is the most beautiful, wonderful thing in the world, and it's gonna save me. So, melodrama, we may call someone, oh, you're being so melodramatic, meaning that they're overdramatic. That term, calling someone melodramatic, comes from this type of play called a melodrama. So melodrama came about in the 1800s was when it became popular, or actually even before that, probably the 1700s. It was before the advent of musical theater, but melodrama does literally mean song drama or music drama. It wasn't because they were singing, it's because they were playing music, underscoring the play that was happening. So it was these dramatic plays that played on people's emotions. So there was lots of emotions running wild. There was suspense, there was fear, there was nostalgia, there was love. And all the while the music is gonna help the audience feel those emotions. So whether it's a piano or a whole orchestra, it if something intense happens, you might go dun dun, right? That we all seen like the gif or the video of the squirrel like doing that big-eyed face and the dramatic music behind it. Also filters on Instagram like the da na 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 na, and it like does the super zoom, that's kind of making a melodramatic scene. So it's it has adding music to accentuate what's happening on stage. So within melodrama, there are several rules. So there's easily recognized stock characters like the damsel in distress, the sidekick, the villain. If you think about the mustache twirling evil villain with a cane and a top hat. There's a strong conflict between good and evil, so you can definitely tell these are the good guys, these are the bad guys, and the good always wins. So a classic trope of melodrama is that the evil man comes and he ties the damsel in distress to the train tracks, and then the hero, the man that she loves, comes and rescues her and defeats the evil villain. So other things that rely on melodrama are things like WB cartoons, like the Looney Tunes. A lot of those are melodramatic because of the scoring, the music that's behind them, and then these silly tropes happen. And actually, one of the first melodramas that was really popular did have that trope, but it was the hero, the man got tied to the train tracks, and the woman came and saved him. So melodramas always have a suspenseful plot with a climax or cliffhanger at the end of each act. If it's theater, right, the end of the act 1, act 2, leaves you wanting to come back for more. Or if it's melodrama on TV, it's before a commercial break. A lot of adventure stories have this kind of these themes to them. Soap operas are a good one. The overacting in the soap operas, everything's always so dramatic. There's this dramatic music behind it. There are deaths and there are mistaken identities and there's good guys and bad guys, and someone that you're rooting for. Another modern example is The Princess Bride. So there's literally a damsel in distress. There's a masked man that's going to try to save her. The evil guy is the ruler of the kingdom, and he's trying to trap this damsel. And then there's the good guy, Wesley, has all of his little band of good guys to go with him, and they get trapped in a forest and they get trapped by this and that. So lots of drama, lots of action in the melodrama. Domestic drama. Now we're going to get a little bit more chill, right? So just like we have the domestic comedy, like our family comedies, we also have domestic drama. So this is people in everyday life, members of a family in their own homes, living their day-to-day life. So one of the forms of tragedy that we had was domestic tragedy, or modern tragedy, right, was the tragedy of the everyday man. Domestic drama is a little bit different from that, in that it doesn't have those rules of tragedy, that the hero must have a downfall, right? That the common man that is the main actor in the play isn't in tradition, or in modern tragedy, that man or that woman is going to have a big downfall. In drama, domestic drama, that's not necessarily the case, but they are going to struggle with something. They may overcome it, they may not, but it's not like a life and death situation. It's a predominant type, the main type of serious drama that we see nowadays in modern TV and movies. And the very last one that we have is tragic comedy. This is, as the name implies, a mixture of tragedy and comedy. So the point of view is mixed. The overall prevailing attitude is a fusion of serious and comic. So it may be dealing with serious, something that has serious implications, but kind of have a lighthearted air to it, or serious things may be happening, but in a way that we can find kind of humorous. It's like when you laugh at something and you feel bad about laughing at it. That's a good example of something that's tragic comedy. So the last video you're going to watch in this series is Pulp Fiction. I will give a content warning. There is a lot of vulgar cussing, but it is pretty funny. So if you don't feel comfortable with it, then you don't have to watch it, but I do highly recommend it because it is a great way to exemplify what tragic comedy is. All right, that does it for our genres playlist. Once you watch the Pulp Fiction clip, there will be a quiz on Canvas as well as some other content, so please make sure to check that out. Thank you guys for joining me on this first of many journeys. Stay safe, stay healthy.